that time. 3 albums in that time.
So, 81 I put out my, 82 I put out April 2nd, April 1st, 1982 I put out Aldo Nova. And that was, I mean, I'd done the demos, these were actually my demos. I was sitting at home in Montreal, I'd work, and I played clubs till, doing covers till about, let's see, 11 o'clock at night. Then I'd drive about, I don't know, 50 miles or 100 miles down to the studio. I'd get in the studio and I'd work all night, let's say from 2 in the morning to 9 in the morning, and working on my stuff. And then I'd go to work on my day job, and then I'd do
Which was what?
What?
Your day job, what was that?
I was selling guitars in a music store.
Oh, that's all. At least you're sort of adjacent.
Before that, I was a welder. Because my father's a welder, my brother's a welder, so it's sort of like...
What is that?
What?
What is that?
What is that?
A welder?
A welder. A welder, it's like weld steel. I used to make, like railings.
So you weren't getting wilder?
So I bent down to give it a kiss, and then when I got up, I sort of lost my balance and I fell down the steps and completely. And then I landed on the bottom. And then what happens is if I really hurt myself, I'll go,
And did that inspire a song?
That was the intro. So all I wanted was like an iced latte. So I asked my wife, I said, can you make me an iced latte? She says, well, I don't think you should go to the hospital. I said, no. She said, we'll call 911. I said, no, you're not going to call 911. The hospital near my house is the worst. I said, you go in there, you die. You just come out in a coffin. I'm not going to go in there. So she said, okay, I'll make a deal with you. Because I live in a province called Quebec, which is the French speaking, but next door is Ontario. And they have a great hospital there, so it's 25 minutes away from my house. So she said, I'll make a deal with you. I'll take you to Tim Hortons, which is like down there. I'll get you a nice latte, and then I'll drive you to the hospital. I said, cool, deal.
This year.
Years. Look at that, congratulations.
Thin Red Line album, 40 years.
40 years, so we're going back. Shall we go back?
Ouch.
And have some fun? Alan, you willing to do that with us? Have some fun?
I'll try.
Come on, 81. Got together in 81. And it was all tits up from there. No, it was all good. It was all good from there, right? 81.
We're still here.
Yes, exactly. Not Glass Tiger back then, though, right?
I was in a band called Onyx
Onyx?
in the early 80s, or the late 70s, early 80s. And we starved, and so we quit, and I said never again. And I decided I wanted to work in medicine, and I got a job as an orderly in a hospital, and then I worked in autopsies for a few years.
Can you believe that?
No.
I love that story. I can't believe you're not taken by that story.
To the cigarette, and Jim fires up this little machine, the chugga thing, and he's going da 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 da, and I immediately go, when I come home, you telephone, when I come home, and he goes, oh, I love that. And so then they come back, and on the very first day with Valence, we write, don't forget me when I'm gone, and someday. And both of them went, thank you. Both of them went on to win the Canadian Juno Award for Single of the Year from the same album, a year apart. It had never been done before.
First time.
I wanted to ask you, what record changed your life? Like, as you were, I mean, I know that you were in bands for a long time, and as usual, we always think, oh, you became successful overnight, which we all know isn't true. But then when you were on the road and doing your thing in big, what bands were you looking up to at that time?
I say probably the U2 Boy was
Bowie.
a single, the first one, and then of course, that's pretty early. And then going along, I would say it probably Joshua Tree, and those albums were really, significant to me anyways. And then of course, because as a musician, as a guitar player, right, you're getting into a lot of keyboards when you get into the 80s, right? So you kind of take a back.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Nothing.
But I mean, there is a lot to be said about the great things, that direction that went in. I mean, anything that I've heard from them, Kurt Cobain did just sounds magical, right? But we kind of already had established our sound. I'm not going to change that based on what they throw at it.
No, and we enjoyed it. I enjoyed when,
Yeah.
I wasn't bitter about that. No, I mean, I enjoyed the grunge stuff that was going on, what happened in the
Because you were
90s.
still touring, weren't you? at
Oh,
that
yeah.
time?
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
It is. And then 93 came, and it went quiet for a little bit.
Well, somebody came up with an idea, let's take a year off. And a year became 7.
Why do you keep looking at Alan? Why do you keep, you're not looking at me, I know that.
I know. I actually don't think you can blame one person. We collectively
No, it's not a blame thing.
said.
Well, speaking of, I mean, I know we're here as Glass Tiger, but again, they were involved in it. I did a solo album called Hold On. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Dad.